Up next.
Ruthless report regarding recent renewable resources remit reluctantly revealing really rather regrettable results.
Modern politics is dominated by green policy. With emissions rising and fossil fuels increasing in price, the government has adopted a new direction: wind turbines. So, is the answer really blowing in the wind? The fact remains, not everyone here, unlike the turbines, is a big fan.
Earlier, I phoned to arrange a trip to see how a wind farm worked, but was told it was closed indefinitely for essential repair work. Then I realised I hadn't even stated where I wanted to visit, so how did the lady know it was closed? Intrigued, I ventured forward to Whitstable in search of answers. Just 12 months ago, Whitstable was a normal sleepy seaside town. Since then, an offshore wind farm was erected and some rather sinister events have taken place.
During the early 19th century, this was one of the Motherfuck! Since the early 19th century, this pier has stood proud against the elements. Then, one sunny afternoon, half the pier fell into the sea overnight. Formerly one of the longest in the solar system at 1,000 metres, now remains the broken relic you see behind me. A government-appointed quango began an investigation into the case, but as yet remains unresolved. It is clear here the locals fear for their pier.
Boats here cowering from the weather. This is all that remains of a flock of 8,000. After seeing conditions on the coast, I met up with local fisherman Benji Groats to shoot the breeze.
Well, I mean, it's a nightmare now. Total nightmare. I mean, it takes me 6 hours on the boat to get just out of the harbour. You know, go an inch an hour because of the wind in the face. Another factor is, I mean, old boys, people like me, been there 10 years fishing, finding it harder and harder to get work because anyone can fish these days. You just have to stick a net in the water and it comes up teeming with them. You know, that boat's my livelihood and it's my pension. You know, I was looking forward to when it comes to the time I can sell it on, cash in, and that money could come in handy. I mean, no one's going to buy it now. It's obsolete. I've lost everything I have in terms of hats to that wind. Yeah, hat loss is probably one of the major effects of the turbines in this area, I think. It's a big hat community. This is someone else's hat. I feel a bit bad about that, obviously, having lost a hat myself, but you can't be a fisherman and not have a hat. No one will take you seriously.
Here, hats are the new winkles. These men trawl for hours, sometimes collecting 400,000 in one haul. I visited Minister for the area, John O'Comment, to get the official view.
Good afternoon, Minister John O'Comment, and thank you for having us into your home. Firstly, can I ask you if you can reveal any of the findings from the recent unresolved investigation into the collapse of the pier?
Yep, well, like you said, the results were inconclusive, but we narrowed it down to a combination of longshore drift sweeping across the pier, bringing with it extra barnacles.
Barnacles, you say? If that was the case, then why would the government have passed the recent Green Paper forbidding the removal of barnacles from historic monuments?
Is this the Barnacle Bill?
The Barnacle Bill.
The Barnacle Bill, yes. Well, unfortunately, barnacles are endangered species, so there's nothing we can do about it. The bill has to stay in place.
With that in mind, Minister, how would you then explain the collapse of Reculver Castle?
Reculver was very old, and after surveying the area, we noticed that there was a build-up of over 9,000 worms underneath the foundations of Reculver.
So, how would you respond to the links being made between the wind turbines, the high wind speed and the weathering of coastal monuments?
Well, as far as we're concerned, there is no link. The changes in weather we've experienced recently is due to an influx in giant butterflies in China. And as everybody's child knows, when a butterfly flaps its wings, yeah.
So, finally, will there be any restitution for the hatless, cold-headed fishermen? Minister? This mighty castle, destroyed by worms? Piffle. This new dossier, uncovered by top-secret means, reveals the shocking truth. Contradictory to government claims, the wind farms are in fact an aggressive and mobile strategy aimed at distancing Britain from the EU and strengthening the special relationship with the Americas by blowing us across the Atlantic Ocean. Crudely drawn plans found within the dossier suggest the turbines are not in fact anchored to the seabed, but mobile and mounted on submarines able to move them should the country's course need correcting.
The projected course shows this will be the UK's second and largest invasion of Jamestown, Virginia. This phenomena was discovered by Romanian meteorologist Florian Bactu. The Bactu front is projected to drive the country forward at a speed somewhere approaching 0.1 knots per month. As the graphic shows, Britain is projected to meet the USA at 4:37 on June the 12th, 2021.
So, there you have it. Shocking new claims uncovered, damning and corruptible. All that remains is for me to wish you bon voyage on your trip to becoming America's 51st state. This is me, Vinny Vidovici, signing off.